Hi everyone, welcome to Data Analytics Blog. And in this dashboard, I'm going to be walking you through how to create this dynamic and interactive dashboard for a grocery company. And I'm going to explain in detail what this dashboard entails. So starting with the KPI, the revenue, we have the total sales, which is the total revenue generated from the period of 2011 to 2022. Also, we have the item sold, which is the kind of item, the average sale, and we have the average rating. And to start with the chart, the different chart, the first one here is the table which itemize the information for each of the item being sold in for this period. So we have different items, we have the fruit and vegetable up to soft drink, and then we have the revenue for each of these items, the item sold, average rating, item visibility, and also item weight. And to this we have the different outlet size. We have the medium, small, and high. So I did my analysis based on each of these. So we have location and also we have fat content. So that is we have an information for fat content. So I did my analysis based on fat content based on the store and supermarket, and also based on different items sold. So on this slicer here, the first slicer here is I created a parameter, which is what I'm going to introduce to us. I created a parameter to actually create this slicer. So this parameter gives us information for each of these charts and the table. So if I click on this now, we are saying the revenue for each. So this particular parameter actually is speaking to each of these charts. It's speaking to each of these charts. You can see that everything is changing. You can see that they are changing as I'm clicking for each of the. So you see that the revenue for each of these and items so up to the average rating. So now for here, I also did my slicer. You can filter for any year that you want to see the information on. So that's all about this particular dashboard. And of course I did my background. I just did a little background or I did the background for this particular KPI in PowerPoint, so I can quickly show us that. So this is what I just created in Power BI using or shapes, and also using some color code that I generated from I or actually Google from or that I actually copy from Google. So now back to our dashboard, we can start creating this dashboard now. So this is the data that I used for this, the data set that I used. I actually got it online, and I'm going to be pasting the link where I got it from so that you can also practice along. So let's start creating this beautiful page. So I'm going to create a new Power BI, creating a new Power BI and importing our data. We're going to be importing our data. So we have a new Power BI. So we start by importing our data into Power BI or desktop. So I'm going to import this data from Excel. So this is the data. I'm going to take it to Excel, to Power BI, Power Query Editor to do some cleaning there. So for here, I'm going to be clicking this bling grocery data, then transform in Power Query Editor. So we're going to transform it in Power Query Editor, and then we start our analysis So the first thing here, if you check this item type, we'll see that we have LF, low fat. We can see some irregularity in our data here. So I'm going to be correcting that by replacing value for that. So here, for here, I'm going to be clicking on this. So just right click here, right click, then click on replace value. So the first one that we're going to do is replace LF with low fat. LF, I'm going to replace it with low fat. Again, we have another low fat that is not, the spelling is not consistent. So now I'm going to replace that also. So I think they are case sensitive. So now I'm going to replace low fat with low fat. So I'll click this. So again, we have reg and regular. So I will replace reg with regular. Replace value. So now we have fixed that. So now let's check for other thing. I don't think we have any other issue with or irregularity. So we can just close and apply. Close and apply. So the data is loading. And we have our data in. So the data is loading. So now we have our data. So now we can start building our analysis. So for this data, we have different column here. So, but I need to create some measured. So now, as you all know, that I like creating my measured. I like putting them in a particular place for easy access. So I'm going to click on enter data to create new measure, and I'll call it all measured. Then I'll load. Now we can start creating our measure. So the first one that I need to create is right click, then new measured. Then I'm going to create total revenue, which is the revenue. That will be sum of say revenue equals to sum of sales. So we have our revenue. Then the next one that we create, that's total items sold. That will be items sold equals to count. I'm going to count row. So count row will give us, you can see count the number of rows in a table. So if we count the number of rows in a table, it will give us total items. So count row items sold. So I'll just put the table there, the whole table for the data. Then I have my average revenue. So we can create new method for average revenue, average revenue, which is equals to average sales. Again, then we have or rating. So we can click new measure there and then create average rating. Average rating equals to, okay, average rating equals to average, then write your rating. So I've created all the measures that I need, and you can delete this because we don't need it to make our work neat. So now the next thing that I need to do now is I want to create a parameter. I want to create a parameter for everything that I did. So I'm going to go to modeling, then you will see parameter. So when you add the parameter to visuals and data expression to add as variable, so the Power BI can use slicer to adjust the input and see the outcome. So now I'm going to click on field, then click on hub measure, then I'm going to create parameter for everything that I did here, then create parameter. So I've created parameter and you will see the useful. So but first, let's consider automatically that we have it in slicer form. So now I can just, let me just leave it here. Let me leave it here. And let me copy parameter header. So now let's leave it there. Now let's bring our dashboard background. So I've already done it. Like I said, I did it in PowerPoint and I have it in my folder here. So I'm going to reduce the transparency, then fit. So now I have my parameter. So I have this here. So let's just leave this here for now. So now we have our dashboard. So now the first thing I need to do, let me create this table first. Let's just follow the dashboard. Let's create this table. Let's create this table. That's the first thing I want to do. So go back to my analysis, then I'll bring table here. Table, put it here. Track it down. Then I'm going to be putting item type, the various item type that we have. Then go to my measured, then revenue, item sold, average revenue, and then average rating. So we have that here. So now we can now format our table. We can format our table. So just make sure that everything is aligned. So now click on the table and let's do some formatting. Click on the table. I will do some formatting. So first I'm going to remove the total. I don't want to see the total because I don't need it. Then let's come to the column header. So I'm going to change this. So you can format, do your custom formatting for the font. Do your custom formatting. So let's check what color that I use here. Okay, so for the background, okay, so I need to copy the color code. So I need to copy the color code. So I'm going to click on this, go to my, okay, background. I'll copy the color code. So come right here again, more color, then put the color code, Then for the text also, I'll go back to my analysis, my dashboard, and copy the color code so that I can have it. So copy the color code, then let's come right here and put it. So we have that. So we can align them. So now for each of the column, which is we click on the specific column. Okay, so I'm going to be for the first one, so I will leave this item. Okay, for this item type, we can change the color to text color to this. Can change the text color to this. And then for this revenue, okay, I'm going to change the color. I'll change the color to this. Okay, I'm not sure that's what I use. That's not what I use. So let me check the color code for this. Specific revenue. So I use this more color. So copy the color code. And then, like I said, I actually got the color code. I just Google for mixed color, then it gave me what I want. Okay, so again, for the item sold, I only need to change the background to this. For the average revenue, also I'm going to change the background to this color. For the average rating, so I highlight it today. So change the background. No, not this color. Not this color, not this color. I'm changing the background only. So let me highlight the rest to the middle. Also revenue. So now I'm done with this specific color. So now the next thing is this style percent. I'm changing it to minimalistic. Minimal. Then the grid, I'll change it to white. Then I'll increase it to about 10. Again, I'm going to on the vertical line, change it to white, increase it to, let's say, 5. Or should we do 5? Okay, let's leave it that way. So now for the values, okay, so now like I said, you can do your own custom format. So we have it that way. So now for our column header, so click again on this. Column header, I'm going to change it to this. Column header. Change the background to this color. Then let's check what we use here. Okay, our text to this. Yeah, we are good to go. So we have this here. We are done with our that's table. So now the next thing that I need to do now, the next thing that I need to do again Okay, last thing here. Okay, for each of the value, I'm going to be changing their value. Where is it? Okay, okay, display unit for each of them now. Then I will change it to 0 decimal place. And for this, and this also, average revenue, average rating, do the same thing here. Okay, you can just leave this to, let's leave it to 1 decimal place. So now we are good to go with this. So now for the next thing that I'm going to be doing here, the next thing that I'm going to be doing here. So the next thing that we are going to do now, the next thing we are going to do is to create this fat content. So I use the parameter that we created to actually use it to create this fat content. So now the first one that I'm going to do is the fat content and the item type. So I use this for that. I use the bar chart for that. So again, bring our parameter to, I'm going to bring our parameter to x-axis, and then bring the outlet type to y-axis, then the fat item to legend. So that's actually what I did. Okay, okay, let's check first. Let's check that. Let's quickly check that here. So okay, so we are still correct. Go back, put our outlet type, then parameter to this place, then fat, or let's put fat type then first here, then parameter to this place. So we have that. Now we just need to format to the color that we are using. So the legend, I'm going to remove the legend, then I'm going to remove the title. I don't need the title. So for the background also, okay, the background, so I just want to show a shadow effect for this background. So now go back to this place. Our legend will be at the top. We can just increase this, change this to black or any color that you want. So for the x-axis, I don't want to see the x-axis. So for the y-axis, remove the title also for the y-axis. Now we can format it, change the color to black, or depending on the type of color that you want. So I can still expand this. Then come right here, go back to that y-axis. So now let's change the color of our, okay, have removed grid line of our bar. For the low fats, I'll go for this, and for the regular, I'm going to go for this. So now we have this here. Then we can add our data label. Then we can format the data label. Format the data label. Okay, the text color should be black. Display unit, you can leave it as none. Then you can change this to 0 significant place. Okay, so now I need to do something here to give me what I want. So I'll come right here, or you come to this revenue, then I can change it. I'll change the revenue to dollar because it's actually supposed to be in dollars. Changing revenue. Oh, even have a revenue. Okay, what that change to dollar? It should be this. Good. Now we have this, so I can also format it to what I want. Good. And see, we decrease it. So let's leave it like that. So now the next one is this, or what's it called? The our parameter by item or fat content. So I'll come right here. Also do, okay, I can copy and paste this. Let me copy and paste this. Then put this here. Let me bring this here. So now what I'm going to be doing here is simple. So all I need to do here is to change this to this. Then instead of putting fats, I'm going to put fat content here. Then change this to this. So now go back to the revenue, to the what's it called? I'll just say data value only. So now I'm going to click on, if I click on one of these, you can see that is interacting with the dashboard that we created. Can you see? Is interacting with the dashboard that we created. So that's all for that. So now I can see, let me bring this here. So now the next one that I need to create is the sales by year. So I use a line chart for that. I'm bringing this here. Then sales into x-axis, then year established into y-axis. Oh, year established to y-axis, then total revenue. I will use total revenue. So now again, I'm going to format this. Come right here, remove grid line. Also on the shadow effect for this. Then come to this place. Can just format your format your chart. So now go back to this list, then remove the vertical outline, that's the grid line. You can hone your marker. Then I don't want it, I want the line to be smooth. Good. Then I'm changing the color to this. Then the color of our marker, let's change the color of our marker to, let's change the color of our marker to this. Then we can increase its size. So now again, let's do some formatting. Come right here. For the x-axis, no title. So we can change this to black and increase this. So for the y-axis, also, I want to remove everything at the y-axis. So we can add data label and format it. Add data label and format it. Then we can also format the way we want to see the data label. No. Okay. So we are good to go with this. So I can still bring this down. So now the next thing that I'm going to be doing again here, the next thing I'm going to be doing here is okay, so now we need to do, before we do the final KPI, before we do our KPI, let's do the last chart, the last two chart, that's the revenue by outline sales and revenue by location. So now again, I use a column chart for that. I use this. So first, revenue by outlet size, this x-axis. No, I use this parameter, revenue by the matrix. So because we are clicking on revenue, you can see that everything is speaking to this. Everything is speaking to this. So now is interacting with that. So again, let's format the chart. Grid line, remove grid line. Our column, I'm going to use this. Then I'm going to remove the y-axis. No. Remove the y-axis. Then format our x-axis. Like I said, you can use different formatting. So now what I say, I'm going to add data label, then format my data label. Okay, value, go to value, then format it. Display unit no, then to 0 decimal place. So I'll just copy this. So for the title too, let's format the title. can reduce it or increase it, just format it to what you want. So again, for the shadow effect, I want to add the shadow effect. So now I'm going to copy this, paste, copy and paste, copy, then paste. I use it for so I'm going to use it for okay. So I'll use it for the location. So all I need to do here is to just change this to location. So I'm going to write location here. Again, I'm changing the column to this color. So now we are done with all the charts. Now it's time for us to create our KPI. So I'm going to be using the new card, bring it here, then place it here, and I'll be putting each of these into each of the layouts that we created. So items sold, average revenue, then average rating. So I'm going to format them. First, the layout. Okay, no, the shape. I want the shape to be rounded, rectangular. So then format the callout value and changing it to, let's say 20. Let's say 20. Then display unit will be null. Then change this to 0 decimal place. Okay, we still need to do some formatting here. So okay, so bring this here. Then let's format the card. I don't want it to be fill. The background, let's remove the background code. Okay, so let's go back here. Okay, okay, I showed the accent bar to be at the top for everything. Okay, so now I need to go back to the layout. I think I did it to be vertical or grid. Let's check grid. Yes, is it grid? Okay, it's vertical. So I think I increased this. Let's check horizontal. Okay, let me check what I use here. Okay, grid. So I knew it's grid. So the star is grid. Then my rule is 2. Then my column 2 is 2. So now we can now expand it and increase this. So let's go back to the asset bar and put the asset bar at the top. Good. So now we can now increase the value, the front value, the call out value. We can increase it. Then our label also can we change this to this color. Let's see. Yeah, we can, and it's beautiful. Good. We have this here. So we can see now that all the charts are interacting with this. So now I want to create a slicer for year. So I'm going to be picking the slicer. Then I will add the year established. So I'll format this, remove the slicer header, then change the style to style. Then I'll format this. Click this, go to the format. I'll change the front color to this. I think I use this. Good. I use that. Then the background, I'll change it to this. So do the same thing here. This place, the value, change it to this. Change the front. Customize your own front. Then also, I want to change the front or the background to this. So now, this particular uh slicer, the year slicer, I don't want it to interact with this year because we already have year by yearly revenue. So all I need to do is click the slicer, then go to format, then click edit interaction, come to this place, then click no. So if I click this now, you can see now that it's not interacting with the this particular yearly revenue. So now we can go back. So we are done with our analysis, and I believe you have learned new thing: how to create parameter, how to uh, format table, and also how to do some advanced formatting, and also create some your in Power BI. So I believe you can use the data. Click the link in the this video description to act to download the data and also use it to recreate your this particular dashboard in your own way. Thank you for following up to this end. And most importantly, make sure you subscribe to my channel. If you have not subscribed, subscribe to my channel because I have a lot of videos that can put you through on data analytics tools and skills, and you can use it to actually add it to your portfolio project. So subscribe to my channel and also put on your the notification button to be able to receive weekly updates from this channel. Bye. Make sure you like this video, share, like, and also give me your feedback in the comment section. If you're having any issue, just put it at in the comment section, or you can also contact me directly on LinkedIn. Bye.